Hey, buenos tardes. I know my Spanish is bad. Um, I was going to talk about tonight about. I'm gonna jump back into politics, but not just talk about politics in general. I really just want to talk about like laws, policies, and just the atmosphere of what's going on here in California. I know people in other states they're saying that the state's radical. And it is to a certain point, it is radical. We do have different ideas on stuff, some that, I don't mind, but now I'm starting to get a little bit more cautious about the way that politics is moving here in our state. I think there might be a kickback here soon. I think maybe not so much in the big cities, because that the big cities really lean Democrat. I'm not saying I'm a Republican myself. I think there needs to be a movement where I think it's going to switch back to Republicans here in the next couple years. But I think there should be a new movement that starts. I think we should start voting for independent um, candidates. And I think that's going to be really hard because I think there's donors, sponsors, PACs, shadow funds that are being pushed to both Democrats and Republicans. And those are the two parties that are always going to get elected. But if you were to find somebody who's a genuinely wants to serve the people and runs as an independent, uh, not conservative, not liberal, more of a centrist, a moderate, a progressive, uh, more a centrist and a moderate, uh, I think there could be changes, But right now, I think the way that our political atmosphere is set up, I don't think they really promote change or innovation or anything. Uh, One thing that really like made me want to talk about this tonight is because my gas bill, my electrical bill, more my gas bill. My gas bill has skyrocketed. Like I've never in my entire life, I've never paid a gas bill probably higher than like 75, $80. Uh, and usually my gas bill, even living in a house, like it usually stays around $30. Like it really stays consistently $30. And then I know it's winter, and I'm gonna have my heater on. Um, a lot because we're so used to a certain type of we're used to the hot weather here in California. So when it gets cold, it's like, oh my god, it's messing me up. Uh, but my gas bill was $360. That's what it said on my message. I don't know if that's true. I'm gonna look at. I'm gonna go online and log in to look at it. I should have before I started this video. I'm gonna go online and log in and verify that it is that amount because that is an absurd amount of money. And I haven't really had too much bad things about Gavin Newsom. The one thing I feel like he has not done good at is I think he's done COVID good and other policies. I think homelessness is something that really needs to be tackled. I think crime needs to be tackled because people the policies here in the state they just let people get away with crimes. If you commit a crime, oh, it's okay. As long as you don't kill more than one person, we'll be okay even if you kill one person. As long as you don't kill more than one person, you're not a bad person. And it's crazy. And then the other thing that I don't like is his energy, his approach to energy. You know what I mean? Now I'll go ahead and tackle these three subjects hopefully in the next 10 minutes because that's all I'm trying to just I gotta call it a night here soon. So the first one with homelessness, I think that we have a severe homeless problem here in the state. The only way I could think that like they need to like build like I think camps enclosed. I know it sounds really, concentration level stuff, but these are people that have like no desire to be productive. They don't really want to contribute to society. If they really could or really wanted to do it, would they even do it? I mean, people are like, that's not humane. These are people too. Well, these people really are not humane to other people. They really don't care about other people. They really just want to do their drugs. They don't care about the ones that are closest to them, their family. They don't care about society in general. All they care about is just uh, satisfying their drug problem. And people are like, well, it's a problem that it's a choice too. If you, I mean, I understand. I've had ups and downs and psychological problems. Not really hardcore psychological problems, but I know people tend to go through some tough times. They want to resort to something, drinking or drugs or whatnot. But there comes a time where it's a choice that these people really want to do this. And they don't care about anybody else. They don't care who they're affecting. If they don't care about themselves and their family, you think they care about society? I mean, you're talking about, oh, it's not humane. I think they really do need to push a narrative or push an agenda or whatever, a proposition. That's the word I'm looking for. Proposition to build military barrack style housing, enclosed, locked in. So if these people want to do drugs all day, and or that are homeless, or if they're homeless and they really just don't have any help, get them some social security, get them some housing. You know what I mean? If they just want to live a life like that. Now, if these people are doing drugs and they don't care about their life, and the reason why they're homeless is because all their money goes to drugs because that's what they prefer to do, build this housing thing. Uh, and make them do tasks. I mean, people make prisoners do tasks in prison. Make them do simple tasks, whether that's just pulling a lever for however many hours. Make them be somewhat productive. You know what I mean? Because I think we could actually do a lot of good by doing that. We got cheap labor. You could pay them in drugs. I know that sounds crazy. You're like, why would you even do that? You're just promoting drug use even more. These people are not going to do anything else. If you tell them pull a lever, X amount of levers means X amount of drugs you're going to get back. I'm pretty sure they'll work for that. And they'll give, and in order to give back, free housing, free food. You know what I mean? Because they're getting it anyways. And they're just out on the streets. They're they get hit by cars. They're living in front of places where there's kids they're using drugs and leaving all their paraphernalia on the floor. And then the ones that really it's just a situation where they couldn't help and they really don't want to use drugs. They're just homeless people living on the streets with mental health conditions. They could even benefit from this kind of style of housing too. Don't house them together with people that are doing drugs. Put them in a different program that'll help them with their mental health, the conditions. Um, I know it's an easy plan to think of, and I know there's a lot more to it, like cost and maintenance and how all that stuff, but it needs to be addressed, man. There's so much homeless. There did not used to be a lot of homeless. There was homeless in my city that I live in. Now there's homeless people even in the little tiny 3,000 population towns. You know what I mean? That only have like 10 streets on it. There's homeless people. It's crazy, man. All these little towns that only have like a couple hundred or thousand people in it, there's homeless people, and that's unheard of, man. The next thing I wanted to tackle was crime, man, and just the justice system. I just feel like I got into a car accident. As you can see, I wear this. I'm not supposed to wear the splint. The surgeon told me not to. I really just been feeling a lot of pain in my hand, and I had to wear it today to support it. Uh, but this person was on fentanyl in a stolen car when she did this to me. Um, People in this state are just not scared. They know that the justice system is not really justice. It's just don't do bad, and you get to go back out and do more, crimes. It's crazy, man. I think there was I was watching the news. I don't know how honest this lady's being either. The Fresno County DA said that Newsom's Proposition 57 says that somebody only got to do 1/3 of their sentence. And there was a guy that just killed a cop in a little town by me. And he got out. He did only 1/3 of the 8 years, so he got out after like 2 years in prison. And he already had a violent, or he was supposed to do 9 years and only did 3 years and got out. And why he went to prison was because he was under the influence with a loaded assault rifle, threatening people or making threatening threats or whatever. So you're going to allow somebody like this to go back out on the street, and then he eventually killed a police officer that was just doing his job. And he was under the influence when he killed this police officer, from what I heard. I mean, there's no incentive to even do good. You know, I was sitting in court because I did get a DUI of several years back, and I'm witnessing, because those policies were in place already back then, years ago. I mean, even from the previous governors, but it really got lax within the last couple of years. And I would just see people just nonchalantly go into court like, "What up? You know, I'm here. What are you gonna do?" You know what I mean? It's like, it's no big deal for some people. I think they do need to be more strict. They do need to be more strict on repeated offenders. If you got an offense and it's been X amount of years and then you've got another offense, then okay. But if you're like a repeated offender where as soon as you get out within that year that you're free again, you're going to do something crazy, you're a repeated offender. You do like the 3-strike thing. That's why I thought the 3-strike law was good. It was flawed in the way in which it was written. It shouldn't be 3 strikes if you're like just a drug user and you steal people's bikes and sell it for drugs. It should be a repeated offender if you're in gangs, if you're involved in drugs, like drug trafficking, and maybe and violent crimes. You know, if you got violent crimes against other people, then you should go in there. You know. But if you're just a repeated offender that likes to steal people's freaking bikes off their porch and, you know, get $20 to go smoke some more dope, I mean, that's a different category, I think. But if you're doing like narcotic trafficking, if you're doing violent crimes against people, if you're doing gang activities that promotes, you know, unsafe society, I think, you know, they should be more harsh on that. And then the last thing that I was talking about was, man, I even forgot what I was trying to mention. Oh, just the environmental laws, man. They're trying to build this high-speed rail. I don't know what happened with that. I mean, my gas bill being $360. I mean, I could see it going up to like maybe $150, but $360 for gas usage is really, it's gonna affect the working class citizen, and that's the majority of people. I don't see how they could sit here and be okay with that. Solar laws that are saying that we're gonna get 70% less solar than what we produce. That's insane. Like I think like. These utility companies are reaping the benefits already. They got a monopoly. SoCal is everywhere south of Tulare County to all the way to San Diego, and they got a monopoly. And then PG&E is everything north of, you know, Fresno County and north, and they got a monopoly over the business. So why are you favoring freaking these big old freaking entities to take more of the energy that the regular citizen produces, which is, I think it's a load of crap. You know what I mean? These people paid for these solar panels. They paid for this renewable energies with their own money on their own house, and they should reap the rewards. You know, maybe a slight, you know, whatever doesn't get used, you know, the utility company, you can have it, but you shouldn't have a bill at the end of the day if you're producing that much energy. I'm producing more energy than I use, and I still have to pay a electric bill. It's crazy, man. But with that being said, that's all I got for tonight. Let me know what you guys think about the topics that I spoke about tonight. Peace. You guys take care out there. Stay safe.